Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got game 2 of a best of 3 from the Zotac Cup, and it is between KingCobra, who is the red Protoss player in the lower left, and TypeReaL, who is the blue Protoss player in the top right. Now, if you haven't watched game 1, you may be a bit confused where that's gone, so what I suggest you do is pause this video, click onto my channel and just find game 1. It should be there, very easy to spot. So, hopefully everyone who hasn't watched game 1 has now paused, so spoilers incoming. TypeReaL, he did an incredible 4-gate. Basically, he did a really nice trick by basically positioning his pylon in a way that when he got a single probe up the ramp and dropped down some more pylons, he was able to warp in on the high ground, at which point KingCobra just couldn't do anything about it. Now, this is game 2. What can we expect? Well, again, it's a mirror matchup. There are lots of different options available. Obviously, Cobra's going to be subconsciously thinking, I don't want to get 4 warp gated again. I mean, a 4 gate to lose to once is annoying, twice is just infuriating. So, it'd be interesting to see if his strategy changes depending on that. Now, obviously, the key thing to note on Daybreak is this area quite wide, so the natural base not super easy to take, but there is quite a long rush distance because of these central rocks. The watchtower is also really nice, and Cobra actually holding this watchtower to see what comes out of TypeReaL here, so that's really interesting. And actually a forge coming down here first, so a very defensive posture being taken here by Cobra for the moment. And well, obviously Real has got his single probe kind of poking around here. We do have the forge added on here as well for TypeReaL, so it's all very interesting, and it's going to be a cannon rush out of Cobra, or an attempt at a cannon rush anyway. So obviously that pylon, if it does go on scout, it will be brilliant, but I believe TypeReaL will just spot it there. There we go, so he knows exactly what's coming down, but the forge is now finished. TypeReaL dropping down his own pylons. He's bringing a lot of probes out here to try and deal with that single probe of Cobra, but we do have here a second probe coming down, the photon cannon on the low ground, and really once that gets in, that's all well and good, but it's the high ground you really want to be taking. So Cobra is definitely going to be going for the cannon rush approach here. If it pays off, it'll be brilliant, but if it doesn't, there could be a problem. And his own photon cannon now just started. The photon cannon will come down on the high ground now. Obviously, that will be able to be built very easily, because this single zealot will not be able to kill them due to the fact that that photon cannon is about to finish, and that is going to force the zealot back. A cancel goes down on one there, and now this is a very effective cannon rush so far by Cobra. Back in his base, he's doing absolutely nothing, we can see from the mini-map here, so let's just keep an eye out. We've got photon cannon basically being built defensively by Real, forcing a cancel on everything else here, and now I'm not quite sure where that probe went. Ah, here we go. So the probe is wandering around for Cobra here, but I mean, this is going to be a difficult position to push into, purely based on the fact that, well, there's already 2 cannons up. Building a cannon in a cannon's range won't work, but he can effectively try and wall this off. He's now pulling the zealot into the 2 cannons to take some damage. Wants to play it as safe as possible. Behind this, the cybernetics core, another warp gate actually coming down, as well as defensive cannon there for Cobra, because this won't do as much damage as he wants. Yes, he'll pick off the forge, but that's not massive. He's invested already 150, 300 minerals, well, 400 minerals rather, can't do maths tonight, on this push basically, as well as the cancellation costs. So in terms of damage, it's not really worth it for that forge, and that's why he's trying to transition out of this. TypeReaL has managed to get a probe into Cobra's base, and he's just going to get a good scout off. We'll see the double gas down, and that's a big tell. That's compared to 1 gas there for Real, but the chrono boost on the warp gate tech coming down, and now Cobra isn't going to try and get a pylon down here, but the zealot is going to spot it, and of course that basically just means that that will be forced to cancel again. If we look at the resources lost, it is pretty even, and I mean, that's the best way to really think about it. The worker count, though, that is slightly in Cobra's favour, but only so fractionally. It doesn't really account for much. Cobra will probably now lose his probe, because it does actually get blocked into a very corner position there, which isn't great. We do have the Robo and the Twilight counts coming down. Now, what that says to me is we're going to see some Blinkstalkers, an Observer Blinkstalker build, because that's really the most common thing you'll see out of this, because basically the Robo is there for the Observer, the Twilight Council for the Blink. Other than that, I don't really see many other options available to him, or why he'd get that Twilight Council quite so soon. That is, of course, up against TypeReaL getting the 2 additional gateways and the Robo. So a 3-gate Robo is a very effective 1-base play, and now a 4th gateway added onto this as well. So this is pretty much a 1-base all-in. He won't be able to expand behind this, so TypeReaL is going to have to do a lot of damage and kind of end the game with this push when it hits. But of course, if Blink is started relatively soon, which it should be, Cobra has enough money for it easily. There we go. So there's the Blink, there's the Observer. Everything is going right. Now, where the Chrono Boost gets spent will be very interesting. I imagine it probably will be spent on... Okay, apparently the Gateway. I wasn't expecting the Gateway. I was expecting it to be on either the Warp Gate tech or on the Blink tech. But neither of those will be the case, apparently. TypeReaL getting a pylon down here. Now, this is an interesting place to put a pylon because it's actually a long walk distance away. I'm surprised he hasn't put it up here, for example. Is a much more common place. Maybe it's so it doesn't get scouted, but essentially not that great. These two cannons are just being ignored, and that is completely the right thing to do. And now it's actually going to be using this Warp Prism to basically provide the power there. Now, TypeReaL is using that stalk to pick off the pylon, and actually I don't think Cobra has accounted for that, and we'll get supply block temporarily, which will be highly annoying. He's getting a single Immortal out behind this as well. Here's this warp in, but that warp in is essentially just going to be picked up by that single Warp Prism, flown over. It will then basically drop everything down. This would be the ideal spot to land, and then will power itself up to allow these 4 gateways to warp in units as well. And that one Stalker will not be able to do enough here right now. There goes the first drop, and the Warp Prism is just going to come straight back and pick up more things. Those 2 Stalkers are trying to focus everything down, but the Immortal is out, so Cobra does have a slight chance if he does control that well. But if it gets focused down, that would be big problems. Here comes the warp in now from TypeReaL, and to be honest, that is probably going to be game right there. And there is the GG from Cobra. So that means TypeReaL does take this series 2-0. So guys, if you did like the cast, please thumbs up or like it. Leave a comment, that would be awesome as well. And follow me Twitter. And obviously subscribe, because new top level games up every single day, so I wouldn't want you to miss out. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you did enjoy. See you again soon. Bye for now.